The Russians were attempting to enter the settlement from the direction of Pokrovsk when they were spotted by a Ukrainian drone. So the Leopard tank advanced to a close firing position and used its main gun to open fire. During the operation, a Russian FPV drone was deployed against the tank and managed to strike it, showing the danger that Ukrainians must face because of the high enemy drone activity. Despite the hit, the crew completed their mission and withdrew successfully. And after the tank raid, 2 Ukrainian soldiers moved in and cleared a house where the remaining Russian troops had taken cover. One Ukrainian soldier provided cover with automatic fire into the building, while the other threw grenades. To minimize any risk, the Ukrainian command ordered a retreat, after which a heavy bomber drone dropped a shell at the enemy's position, successfully destroying it. To counter any further Russian attempts near Hrishini and clear any potential survivors, Brazilian soldiers were deployed to support the operations of the Ukrainian forces, with the task of clearing positions and reinforcing the counteroffensive momentum. Geolocated footage captured by a drone shows how Brazilian soldiers are clearing a church and houses inside the settlement. They are using explosives to blow the entrance of the building and sustain small arms fire to suppress Russian positions. This tactic is based on their previous military experience from their native country and is used to cause injuries and chaos before entering the buildings, reducing the defenders' ability to resist. At the same time, the footage also showed how the Brazilians operated in small groups to shorten their exposure and avoid Russian drone strikes. The modern battlefield has undergone a profound transformation, evolving from linear fronts and massed formations into a fragmented. Russian forces are attempting to utilize high-speed motorcycle units to highly dynamic battle space shaped by persistent surveillance and rapid precision strikes. At the center of this shift is the emergence of what analysts increasingly describe as an extended kill zone, in some sectors stretching up to 40 kilometers, where any detectable movement can trigger near instantaneous targeting and engagement. This expanded zone of lethality is sustained by an integrated network of Ukraine drone surveillance, electronic intelligence, and precision fire systems. Ukrainian FPV drone, ranging from small quadcopters to long-endurance reconnaissance platforms, maintain continuous overwatch across vast areas. These drones feed real-time data into command networks, enabling artillery, loitering munitions, and guided strike systems to engage targets with unprecedented speed. The result is a tightly linked sensor-to-shooter complex, where the time between detection and destruction has been compressed to minutes or even seconds. Within this environment, traditional battlefield concepts such as massed Russian armored thrusts or large infantry concentrations have become increasingly risky.
As of command reports, an additional 101 Russian soldiers wounded and 13 taken prisoner during the rapid response operation that mobilized Ukraine's 1st National Guard Army Corps. The Azov Army Corps has taken up full operational control over stabilizing the Russian breakthrough at Pokrovsk. With the situation reaching critical levels and threatening to overturn a year of Ukraine's fortification work, Azov and its battalions are immediately getting to work on smashing the Russian salient back across the river. As Russians took Ukrainians by surprise, they broke through 18 kilometers deep behind the Ukrainian front line and penetrated through Ukraine's new Donbass defense line while it was unmanned. However, as the reality of the situation got through to the Ukrainian high command, they acted quickly and redeployed Ukraine's 1st National Guard Army Corps, led by the famed Azov Brigade at its head. The Russian salient is deep but narrow, enough so that it could be pincered, cut off from reinforcements, and destroyed if the Azov Corps was up to the task. The recently redeployed forces immediately got to work, as the first step was to prevent the Russians from expanding their salient, allowing them to entrench and threaten Ukrainian logistics further on an operational scale. Open-source military analysts show that the 1st Da Vinci Assault Regiment attacked the Russian breakthrough head-on, and during the first day of clashes, they were able to blunt the spearhead and push the Russians back to Zolody Kolodiez. Recent reports from various Russian, Ukrainian, and Western military analysts now show that they conducted a follow-up operation the next day and pushed Russians out of the settlement and are overrunning Russian positions up to 4 kilometers below, recapturing the new Donbass defense line in the process. Further south along the thin Russian salient, elements of the Azov Brigade launched rapid counterattacks on the Russians' left flank, as the 93rd Mechanized Brigade assaulted the Russians from the east. Satellite data shows numerous impact craters of Russian aviation glide bombs all over both sides of the salient, the locations of which indicate the Ukrainian attack was very successful and resulted in the capture of Kuchezivka, with prominent Russian and Ukrainian sources noting Ukrainians have fully encircled the Russians in 2 separate pockets. Possibly realizing their goals were becoming too ambitious, Russians attempted an offshoot maneuver between Rodinsky and Bilisky, hoping to at least achieve an operational encirclement of Pokrovsk as their larger breakthrough was faltering. However, Azov quickly responded to this maneuver as well, rapidly cutting off the Russian axis of advance and eliminating dozens of Russian soldiers. Command of the Azov units reports that in the past several days of fighting, the 1st Army Corps has eliminated 271 Russian soldiers, wounded over 101, and has taken 13 Russian men as prisoners of war. Geolocated combat footage shows Ukrainian drones dropping grenades on Russian soldiers in fields and captured Ukrainian-made fortifications. Fiber optic FPVs eliminating Russians in houses and around the settlements, and 4 young Russian men having been taken prisoner after immediately surrendering to Ukrainian forces once the counterattacks commenced. Notably, while Russians have crossed the Kazany Torets River, they did not take control of any major river crossings or a particularly wide base to transfer manpower and logistics over. Therefore, Russian sources report that Ukraine's highly mobile drone detachments have now focused their fire on the base of the Russian salient at the river. Russian analysts note they have completely lost control over this area, as Ukrainians have now officially and effectively cut off the Russian breakthrough through drone fire control, without having to expend any manpower to conduct a physical counterattack. Notably, Ukrainians were then able to physically move into Nikhanarivka and Novsakov, with the rest of the area being returned to the gray zone and under tight Ukrainian drone control. Overall, Ukrainians have curbed the immediate threat of the Russian Dobropilya breakthrough and completed the encirclement of an estimated 800 Russian soldiers, hundreds of whom have already been eliminated in the fighting of the past few days. The Azov Army Corps' decisive actions have been highly successful, blunting the Russian spearhead, pushing Russian forces away from critical supply lines, dismantling additional attempts to branch out, encircling Russians in several pockets with little cover to hide, and most importantly, clearing Russians out of the new Donbass defense line, eliminating the operational level threat posed by the Russian salient only days earlier. Now, Ukrainians are poised to finish the job, to completely destroy what remains of the already brutalized Russian soldiers.